Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at a career that honestly just breaks the mold. We're talking about the iconic performer Selena Steele.
Yep.
And we've got a ton of material here, biographies, filmographies, even old transcripts, and they all kind of point to the same question. How did one person manage to thrive through so many different eras?
I mean, you're talking the late 80s VHS boom, the 90s feature dancing circuit, and then the whole digital MILF explosion of the 2000s.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really analyze that longevity. It feels like a business case study, almost, as much as a biography.
It really is.
I mean, she's in every major Hall of Fame, but we want to know what actually set her apart from the thousands of others who came and went.
And we can jump right in with the one fact that really sets the tone for this whole thing. It's the aha moment.
Okay.
If you want to get why she was so successful for so long, you have to look at her background before the industry. Because before she was Selena Steele, she was Jacqueline Dawn Godfrey. And she was a computer programmer.
Wow. Okay, that is genuinely astonishing.
Right.
We're so used to a certain kind of story from that late 80s period, and computer programmer is definitely not it.
Not at all.
So let's unpack that. She was born in L.A. in '61, grew up in Orange County, and even back then, that area was this hub of, discipline and structure.
And her background shows it. It's not just the intellectual side. The sources all point to this incredible physical discipline she had from a young age.
Right, the ballet and gymnastics.
12 years of it. 12 years studying ballet and as a competitive gymnast. The kind of focus that takes, it's immense.
You're talking repetition, mastery of complex routines. It builds a serious foundation. Plus, she did 2 years of college before she even started her programming career.
And you have to see those as transferable skills. I mean, programming, gymnastics, they all require intense focus, problem solving, and the ability to see a long-term plan through.
So you're not dealing with someone just kind of falling into a career.
No, you're dealing with someone who understands systems, who understands structure.
So then why the big career shift in the mid-'80s?
Well, you're in Southern California. The gravity of the entertainment industry there is just, it's immense. It's totally plausible. The earning potential was just too big to ignore.
And her path in was pretty classic for the time.
Very. She started with nude modeling for some extra cash, which led to exotic dancing, and from there, in the film.
But the timing of when she entered the film world, that was everything.
Oh, absolutely. She arrived during what you could only call a transformative period. This is when home video, specifically VHS, was just completely changing how these films were seen.
Right. It's moving out of the theaters and into everyone's living rooms.
Exactly. And suddenly, performers could build a massive fan base through video rentals. She brought this really structured, disciplined mindset into an industry that was basically in the middle of a gold rush. The timing was perfect.
So a programmer's discipline and a VHS gold rush. Let's get into her film timeline, because she actually starts pretty late. She was 27 in 1988.
Yeah, she was already a seasoned pro on the club circuit by then.
And this is where the filmography gets a little tricky. It tells you how fast things were moving back then. So IMDb says her first movie was Hate to See You Go in 1988. But other sources, including interviews, say her actual first shoot was a film called The Chameleon, which came out in '89.
And the reason for that little discrepancy is actually key. The Chameleon was the only movie she ever did with her natural breasts. So since Hate to See You Go featured her implants, it had to have been filmed later. But they rushed it to market first. It shows you how quickly she was adapting to what the market wanted.
That's an incredible pace. But it wasn't just the physical changes that made her a star, right? It was the actual work.
Correct. Her appearance got her in the door, but it was her professionalism and her acting that made her stay. The big breakthrough role was Curse of the Catwoman in 1991.
Directed by John Leslie.
Right. And Leslie won Best Actor for it, deservedly so. But all the critics at the time said Steele was the real standout, that she was the one who elevated the whole project with her performance.
That's not something you hear all the time.
Yeah.
It really does sound like someone taking the craft seriously, like an athlete.
Precisely. And the industry noticed right away. In '91, she won the FOXE Vixen Award.
And for anyone who doesn't know, what's the significance of that one?
The FOXE Awards were fan-voted and had a lot of peer recognition from other performers, so it means the audience loved her and her colleagues respected her.
Okay, so she's connecting on both levels.
And then The very next year, she wins the 1992 AVN Award for Best Supporting Actress for Sirens.
Which is basically the industry's Oscars.
Exactly. So now it's not just popularity, it's critical recognition for her actual cinematic contribution. It all reinforces that reputation for professionalism.
Which makes her next move even more fascinating. Because she's blowing up in film, but she doesn't stop dancing.
No, she doubles down on it. She maintained a whole parallel career as a feature dancer. She was touring constantly, even with the duo fetish with Rain, right at the peak of her film fame.
That feels like a very strategic, very business-minded decision.
Oh, it's probably the most strategic thing she did. Film careers back then were so volatile you never knew how long it would last.
But dancing was different.
Dancing was guaranteed cash every single night. It gave her financial independence, and maybe just as important, it kept her in direct contact with her fan base.
So the films build the brand.
And the dancing pays the bills and keeps the fans engaged. She was running 2 businesses that fed each other, and she kept dancing all the way until 2008.
Wow.
That stability meant she could call the shots, she could say no to things, she could take a break without going broke.
And she did take a break. The film roles really slow down around 93 and 95.
Yep. She takes a strategic step back from film, but keeps her income and her profile high through the clubs. And when she decides to come back to movies in 2001, the entire industry has changed again.
The internet era.
Exactly. And she doesn't try to go back to what she was doing before. She engineers one of the most successful comebacks of that whole period.
By pivoting into the mature and MILF roles.
She owned it. This wasn't just a few movies here and there. It was a full-on reinvention. She partnered with the big new digital studios like Naughty America for their huge series.
We're talking about titles like Diary of a MILF, My First Sex Teacher,
My Friend's Hot Mom. These were flagship series for those companies. Her ability to see where the market was going and just fully commit to that new niche, it shows incredible business sense, the kind of calculation a programmer would make.
And what's interesting is that during this later phase, she also helped popularize a very specific look that was kind of against the grain at the time.
You were talking about the full bush.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, everything was very manicured, and she went the other way. And movies like Deep in the Bush 5 were huge for her. It shows she wasn't just following trends, she could set them.
And the volume of work she put out over that time is just staggering.
The numbers are crazy. Before her first retirement in 2008, the sources say 88 covers, 8 photo sets, 80 videos.
You can only do that with an incredible work ethic, the kind of discipline we talked about from the very beginning.
And all that work, all that professionalism, it led to the industry's highest honors.
It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, her polished image helped change the perception of performers. She showed you could be a star and also a savvy business person.
And the Hall of Fame inductions really seal that legacy.
It's the triple crown, really. First, the XRCO Hall of Fame in 2003, which is all about artistic achievement.
Okay.
Then the Legends of Erotica Hall of Fame in 2004. And finally, the big one, the AVN Hall of Fame in 2007. Getting all 3 of those, it cements you as a true icon of your generation.
So she wasn't just a star, she was an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. It wasn't just films and dancing. She was managing online businesses, her digital presence. She was building a brand. And that's why, when she decided to step away in 2008, she could do it completely on her own terms.
Which brings us to her retirement. It wasn't quite a hard stop, was it?
Not entirely. There was that brief comeback for Hustler. 5 videos.
Right, 1 in 2012 and 4 in 2013.
But the key detail is what happened after. The sources all say she retired in comfortable circumstances. That's the payoff for all that strategic planning. She avoided all the financial traps so many others fell into.
And now she apparently keeps a pretty low profile, doing charity work in California. She built a real future for herself.
And that sustainable future is the ultimate win. Her whole career is just this masterclass in talent meeting pure determination and adaptability. She really did navigate chaos with a plan.
It's just a perfect example of career architecture. So here's the final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. How much of her incredible success, her ability to reinvent herself, to retire comfortably, was a direct result of that specific mental training she got as a gymnast and, maybe most importantly, as a computer programmer?
Right.
Just think about how those skills, structure, focus, planning for the future gave her the perfect blueprint to not just survive, but to truly conquer one of the most unpredictable industries in the world.
A fascinating question.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.